Hi there, this is Rohit from Practice by Numbers. I am so happy to introduce you to our latest edition, Paperless Forms. I'm going to give you a quick overview of how this feature works. We'll do this with OpenDental right now, but it's very similar, and almost all the functionality is exactly the same between OpenDental, EagleSoft, and Dentrix on how the software, how our feature works with these practice management systems. So as soon as this feature is available to everybody and anybody who's on a bundle package. You will see this tab that shows up, Forms. You have to do a few quick setups over here. Once you set this up, you should be ready to use. One of the things you have to do is quickly select where all your online forms are going to do this. This is the default setting, so you can just pick one of the default things. So in this case, I guess I'm going to pick patient information for online forms. I'm going to pick consents for, I by default there isn't one, so let's just pick consents right here. And for treatment, we can send those to the treatment plans. Now I'm going to come down over here and tell you a little bit about two kinds of automations that we have. One is the new patient automation, and what this means is every time a new patient makes an appointment, our system will automatically identify which forms need to be sent to them, and it's going to send them an email right after the appointment is made. You can go ahead and edit this particular email to your liking, whatever you want, whatever verbiage you want, but we will insert the link to send them the patient forms automatically. The second automation that's available is the existing patient form. So this goes out twice, once 2 days before and then the day before. And this also automates any of the forms that your existing patients that are coming back into the practice need to fill. And I'll go into a little bit more details about where these forms are from. And this communication happens both via SMS and via email. And you can edit both these things on however you want this to show to your patient. Okay, so I will leave this automation off right now for the purposes of this demo. I'm going to go ahead and save this for now. Now let's go into where all your forms are. All the forms, either the built-in ones or all of the custom ones that we built for you, customized for you, and all of the consents are right here under the Forms tab. Okay. So here, for example, here is the medical history form, and you can quickly do a preview of what the medical history form looks like right here. And you will be able to create custom forms. At this point, you just send us a request on what form, what changes you would like. Eventually, you'll be able to just go ahead and make these changes yourself. One of the things that you want to set right away is how often a form is required. For example, appointment cancellation policy, it's marked as once because we have set it up pretty much default with what most practices are going to need this for. But you can change this to different settings if you want. If you want to remind the patient every 12 months or every 6 months that what the cancellation policy is, you can do that. And based on all of these required, how often they're required, our system will do automation. Like the medical history is required every 12 months. And what this is going to do is every 12 months, it's going to require this patient to fill this form out, and it's going to automatically add this form in the needed forms. Okay. Another cool thing I'm going to show you guys right here is a COVID questionnaire built in. And one of the things we have done is we have allowed certain types of forms to have ability to alert the practice. So for example, this particular form, all the yes no questions have the ability to say alert the practice if they mark yes for this particular form. Okay, and I'll show you what that means. So for example, if you want to make sure that you get alerted if the patient marks that they're feverish or they've had fever or for any different reason, you can turn this thing on. It's going to give you an alert, also send you an email if they mark yes. Another cool thing with one of our other forms is the medical history form. So the medical history form, you can obviously ask them what diseases, allergies, medication, and all that they have. But another thing that we have added to the medical history form, that any question can be connected with what we're calling is an alert item. So let me actually quickly make one change over here with the medical history form. That's medical history. Let's go back in here. So the change that you can make in here is that you can come in here and you can assign different alerts. These are the alerts that are coming in from your practice management, in this case OpenDental. For example, if I want to assign, let's say, an alert, we ask the question, are you allergic to penicillin? And I can actually assign this alert. We can say, let's search for this alert in the allergy penicillin, and I can assign that here. Now, the user or the patient fills this form out, and you ask them the question, are they allergic to penicillin, as a question, but not as a list. It's going to create an alert for you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this thing over here. The next important thing I'm going to show you guys is all our consents. So we have about 30-40 consents built in over here, and these consents are available to you guys. But if you want to add new consents, all you have to do is basically click add new, and you can create your own consents. Our team is there to help you guys to build your own consents. Another part of the onboarding that my team is going to cover with you guys is the list of medications, diseases, and allergies and referrals. Okay. So the idea here is we have built a good list of all the medications. What you want to be able to do is, if a patient selects that they have a certain type of medication, if you want to create an alert into the system, you can first of all just say auto map, and our software will try to map our medications to the medications that are in OpenDental, and in some cases works pretty well. In other cases, you may have to go in and say, okay, I really want a particular type of medication to match or create an alert. All you do is click right here, and you can map anything manually. Okay, so in this case, I'll just assume that the mapping is good. I'm going to do this. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'll do the same thing on the diseases or the problem side. And if our system doesn't map anything automatically, it's because it doesn't match word for word, character for character. Then you have to just go in here and just find the medication or the problem right here, and you can actually manually map it. Once you save this, it's basically a bidirectional save. For example, if your patient has a particular condition and they fill the medical history form, we will show them that they had marked this thing previously. And if the patient adds a medical condition, now we will create an alert in OpenDental. So it's bidirectional. That's very important that you map this. So the last part is the allergies over here. So in this case, you want to make sure all the allergies are mapped. I'm going to go ahead and quickly map these allergies right here. And I'm going to map the metals. Let's quickly map the penicillin. See if there's sulfa drugs. Codeine is right here as well. And remember, guys, this is done once, right? So you're not doing this over and over again. So you do it once, and we can help. And the last thing you want to map in terms of the list is your referral sources. By default, if we check these three boxes, we're going to ask the patient where they heard about us, and we'll automatically add another patient, another doctor, or other. But if you have referral sources in your practice management system, like Google, Yelp, Facebook, you can add those here, and when we ask that patient, we will give them that option. Okay, that's pretty much the basic setup. Another important thing I'm going to show you guys about the setup is the ability to add a kiosk or a tablet. Our kiosk tablet is all browser based, so you don't have to have a particular type of a tablet. We can work with Galaxy tabs, we can work with iPads, we can work with just regular computers, whatever works. The way you create a tablet is just click on the tablet and click add new tablet. Let's just say I'm going to add Rohit's laptop. Okay, can't type. Laptop. I'm going to click next. I'm going to go to my, it wants me to take right here. Or if you guys can't remember, just go to practicenumbers.com and click on Kiosk. And when you click on Kiosk, it's going to ask you a PIN code. And the PIN code is being provided right here. So I'm going to copy that PIN code right here, and I'm going to cut and paste it and register. Boom. So I am right. My kiosk is ready, and it's ready to be used. And now if I close this thing and I'll show you, it says Rohit's laptop, it's a Chrome browser, status is free, and the connectivity is green. So we are ready to check patients in and complete forms. Okay. At this point, your basic setup is complete. Now you will want to post your new patient packet on your website, that's where the packages comes in. You can create your own packages if you want, but we have built one for you. This is a new patient form right here. All you do is copy this link and you can paste this link onto your website, and this will allow new patients to book an appointment. So let's do exactly that, right? Let's assume a patient came to your website and they build the form, or they want to fill the information out. They come in here and they start filling this out. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start filling information out, and I'm going to use given name and number so that we can track this thing easily. And I'm building Rohit Garg underscore 022 so that when this gets done, I can show it to you in OpenNL. Let's mail, and I'm going to put a random social security number and the referral sources that I was mentioning to you. If you had additional sources, it's going to give you that option right here. Now the patient, it's asking me the name of the patient, and it's asking me for the picture, and I can pick any picture. I can take a picture if I'm on my cell phone. This is mobile friendly. Let's go ahead and go to the next. I say PbN is my employer, and the phone number, I will just put a random phone number right here. Text reminders is okay. I will put the Washington State right over here. Hit continue. Responsible party, yes. This form is submitted. Now it's going to go through the sequence of all these forms, okay? And I'm not going to bore you guys going through all these forms manually. Just let's go ahead and submit 2 additional forms real fast so you guys get the idea. Let's go submit the HIPAA consent form. And right here, this is my privacy policy HIPAA consent form. And let's go back and submit another simpler form. Let's go ahead and submit our financial policy form right here. And I'm going to hit yes and send back. Okay. Now, as I go back into my practice, you would notice that on the main page, it's going to show here, there's a new form that's come in from Gerg underscore 022 that we cannot find in the PMS. You click right here. And the reason we have done this is because we want to make sure all the new patient forms are gated. All the existing patient forms go directly into your system. So there's no gating, they'll go directly into your system. So you don't have to spend the time to sift through all the forms. The new patient forms have a little bit of a gating. And it's just one click. All you say is create a new patient and you hit sync now. Now, what this will do, it will sync this patient directly into Open Dental. Okay, so now if I go into Open Dental, and the patient is right here. So all your new patients that come in, they get gated, and you have to kind of approve to enter that patient in. So make sure you don't get any junk in here. And eventually, we should be able to just turn it on such that all the new patients also go straight directly into the system. Now, the other thing that we allow you guys to do is to be able to send an email or a text message automatically to any of these patients that have appointments coming up. So, for example, let's go in here, and what we can do is let's figure out. Let's create an appointment for this patient that we just used. Let's find the same exact patient, and we're going to take that patient, and we're going to create an appointment for that patient. And let's just pick anything right here, and I'm going to go ahead and quickly sync the information. And once I bring this up, we should be able to see that patient's appointment right here. Now, if I bring this patient up, this patient should have a certain set of recommended forms because this patient is new, so not all the forms have been synced in, and it's recommending that we do forms for these patients. So instead of sending these forms to a patient, what we're going to do is instead send this to the tablet. Okay, so here we have the tablet right here, and I'm going to use that particular tablet and pretty much do these forms online or on the tablet. And let's go ahead and find our tablet again, Kiosk, and the tablet is right here, and it has become available. So now I can go ahead and send all these forms to the tablet. And this tablet again can be an iPad, can be a tablet, can be a Galaxy Tab, can be just a PC. Um, if it has a modern browser, it should work. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do is do a medical history form for this patient. So I'm going to hit no for most of these things, and I'm going to hit yes for uh, penicillin, and I'm going to hit yes for sulfur, and let's hit yes for diabetes, and maybe we can come in here and hit yes for aspirin. Okay. Nope. Go ahead and submit this form. And remember, this is now an existing patient. So logically, this patient's form is going to get automatically synced with the practice. So let's quickly take a look. Right here, this medical history form should be synced with the practice. And if I go to this patient's imaging folder, I have the medical history form show up right here. It should be available in a PDF format, which is right here, the patient's medical history form with all the diseases, medications, and the other things that I have selected show up. And the most important thing is our alerts. We selected penicillin, and we selected sulfa, and diabetes, and aspirin. All of them have shown up right here. This is a bidirectional sync again. So when the patient fills this form out once again, all these conditions and alerts are going to be shown to the patient so that they don't have to redo it again and again, and it'll always stay in sync with what's happening. Another important thing I want to show you guys is our consent forms. So let's go ahead and have this patient perhaps be coming in for composite filling. Now, this is the demo version of OpenNettle, so I don't have the actual ADA codes. Let's assume the ADA code is entered right here that has a composite filling. So when you bring this patient up in your actual system and you click on the consent forms, based on the service codes that are selected or are part of the appointment, the consent form, the appropriate consent form will automatically show up. Okay. So now in this case, I can actually go ahead and manually add that consent form. And you will notice that you still cannot send it. And the reason for that we cannot send it is because our tablet is busy. Okay, so now the tablet is free again, and I can send it to this tablet, but it's requesting that I still enter something else. For the consent form, it's looking for tooth numbers and surfaces. Here I'm going to say, let's say 2 MOD. I'm going to hit done and hit send. Now this gets to the kiosk and it's already showing they just completed the medical history form, and the composite fillings form, consent form is right here. They can go ahead and fill this thing, agree and sign, and they should be able to sign and hit next and submit it. Now, our consent for composite, in this case, the practice has set up that they would like a doctor and a witness to sign. So that's why it's not complete yet. It's going to go into a holding area. And it's going to go into a holding area and it's going to say it requires a doctor and witness signature. Now, this is not a mandatory step. In your practice, you don't have to do it. Please consult your local laws, do the right thing. And if you don't need to have the doctor and the witness sign it, then turn that thing off. And once you turn it off, as soon as the patient signs it, this will get written back to your OpenNettle or your practice management immediately. So let's go ahead and do the doctor and the patient signature in here. And as soon as the doctor and the patient signature are done, this will go ahead and get written back into the practice management system. Okay. Right over here, I hit continue, and it's asking for a doctor signature. Let's sign it as a default provider, and a witness signature, and we can sign it as somebody else. And we hit submit, and this should now get synced back with the practice management system. And there we go, it is synced. And let's go right here on the right side and look at if the composite filling is consent is done, and it's right here. There's a lot more to this demo. This is just to give you an idea about how the feature works. Start working with your onboarding specialist. They'll start turning this feature on for you. There's also treatment plans that you can do within our system, and I'll create another video to give you a high-level overview of how that works. Okay, thanks everyone.